So now let's have one more question. One more question is from, I think, Madhulika has asked one question and her daughter is also here. So let's take up that question also. So she has asked various questions, but let me take one question. Okay, everyone has ups and downs in their lives. So what was your lowest point in your life and what was your mantra of coming out of it?
Lowest point.
And I think there is one more person who has talked about what was your toughest phase, and he is Raghavendra. Raghavendra has asked you what was your toughest phase, and I think the near death situation which you had. How did you handle, and how did you actually come over it?
See, near death situation I've had even when I started training. Because on the very first day of my training class, I was hit by a heart attack. Within the first class itself, not after 1 month or 1 year, within 30 minutes, I started training. I had a heart attack inside the classroom. I had to be taken to the hospital. Then I was diagnosed as a person who need to undergo a heart surgery. And I had to go through a heart surgery. And that was facing death moment in my life. With so much of worries, I was doing this heart surgery. That was the time, maybe in 96, this angioplasty was coming in. So I was doing that stint, angioplasty for me. So that time, but then I realized this is the only way you become stronger in life. You realize your life. So meeting almost that death point, sometimes in a fraction of a second, can show you everything about life, which you have not learned the whole period of your beautiful living. So I had that experience. I thought my life was going to end there, but somehow it came back so beautifully to me. And that is one experience I can always thank God for. He gave me that experience. So the lowest, there are lowest or so many more lowest I have gone through. I can always share it, but maybe I need to give a lot of questions, opportunities to answer them, because then it will take a lot of time. But one thing I've realized is when you are at the lowest and lowest of the life, that is the only moment you are truly going to be nearest and closest to your God. So if such moments come, know that you are blessed. Because when you are at the best, you don't think about him much. And he doesn't come to you. And it has this happened to me, especially I shared it some of the times when I came to meet you all regarding Synergy Business Associate meetings during the COVID time. I lost everything in my life. I was on the street. Literally, I was on the street without even having money to eat food. I was almost like a beggar on the road. I had nobody in my life. No one was there. I was all alone. I thought my life should end. I even tried to end my life twice during those periods. But it did not happen. Something good was again and again happening. I did not know why it was happening. But then I realized when you reach such a stage, you will also reach a stage that you know that you have nothing more to do in your life and you surrender. The moment you surrender in your life, then God comes to you. And the moment God comes to you, then you don't even know that so much good things can happen to you. It starts happening to you. It starts happening to you. It starts happening to you. Then, of course, what is the worst that can possibly happen has already happened. Now, nothing more can happen. It will only become better and better and better. And you will start discovering a new life God has got in his plan for you. Then you will start understanding your design much more better. This is what exactly has happened to me now. How I came back into the training industry when I honestly thought my training journey is over. Many people also thought Rajan is over. But then if I could come back and be with you all today to answer this question of yours, it only means, like Raghu says, life is beautiful, isn't it? And your God is always with you when you are his best creation. So Life's goal should be to be the best creation of God, not just yet another creation of God. And have that faith completely new and go ahead. When surrendering means it's not doing anything. Surrendering means giving your best and leaving everything to Him. So if you can do that, that is the best way. For example, if you can do that, that is the best way. For example, can I give this example to you in Mahabharata? What happens? Who is the main hero of Mahabharata?
Sri Krishna and
Huh?
Arjun.
Arjun?
Sri Krishna and Arjun.
Krishna? Then tell me, who is the main hero of Mahabharata?
Shakuni Mama.
Shakuni.
Duryodhana?
Duryodhana.
Though he's a villain.
Karna.
The main character of Mahabharata is actually Draupadi. The whole story revolves around Draupadi. And look at this man, Vedavyasa, when he writes this story, it's a beautiful story written to tell us about our life. And then he creates this character, Draupadi. And what a scandalous that story has. We say this man has got 5 wives, we get scared. We get, wow, what a news to go and talk to everybody. Look at in which period he writes. So many thousands of years back, he writes, this girl had 5 husbands. Who would have had the guts to even think about a story like this, isn't it? And he said, this girl has 5 husbands. How is it possible for us to accept this? But we had to accept this in the story. Who are these 5 husbands? This means actually Draupadi represents all of us. That the story is all about. If you look at Mahabharata, and such a beautiful person he was, he put a girl as the center of the story and said, as a representative for all of us. And if you look at Draupadi, she has these 5 husbands that they are called as 5 things that you need to take charge of your life. And who are those 5? For example, you have these 5 fingers. Let us look at. So these 5 fingers represent those 5 things that you need. In management, there are these 5 principles. In life, there are these 5 resources. In leadership, there are these 5 things that you need to focus. Everything about life, this comes as 5. For example, the first one, who is the most powerful among the 5 people there?
Bhim.
Bhim. Who kills Pandavas on opposite side? Who is there? Kauravas, no?
Yes.
Who kills all those 100 people in the Kauravas? Anybody knows? Who kills everybody? It is not Arjun. It's not Arjun. Bhim kills everybody. Arjun kills the other people. The entire brothers are killed by Bhim. Duryodhana was killed by Bhim, not by Arjun. Okay, so Bhim is the power, and this is represented by your thumb finger. This is the power of your life. Without this, nothing can happen. So, and this power, we need power. First of all, today, your technology can be the power in your life. For some people, your communication can be the power in your life. Some people, your money can be the power in your life. Some people, your status can be the power. Everyone, we have something as a power in life. So this is the power, and the power always stands out. This rules the rest. So you need to know what is your power, what is your USP, what is your strength, first of all, in your life. Once you have this right, then comes this. Now, who is the next person, the eldest?
Yudhishthir.
Yudhishthir
Yudhishthir.
is meant for what? Yudhishthir is meant for principles.
Dharma.
Principles. Okay. So you always say this is right and this is wrong. Am I right? Yes. When you say this is right, this is wrong, see which finger of yours is coming forward. This is the next finger. It says this finger is meant for principles in life. You should know what is right and what is wrong. You cannot do the wrong things. You need to do the right things. So one is your power, and what to do with your power, you should do the right things, not the wrong things. In your thoughts, in everything, it has to be the right things. That's the next. Then who's the next? Arjun. Arjun is meant for what?
Focus.
Arjun is meant for action.
Skill, action. Yes.
Like how this arrow goes out of the bow of Arjun, the speedest. It's action. So action always leads. So what leads must be the action. Of course, this finger, if you look at the center finger, we use it for many wrong things, but this finger is meant for action. And if you look at in your hand, all the fingers are led by this finger, which is in the middle. It's just the center of your life is your action. And it should lead by action. You should lead your life by action. Then comes the next finger. Who is this finger meant for? Who is the next person?
Nakula.
This finger is meant for, we put ring in this finger, am I right? Why do we call this a ring finger? Because this is meant for intelligence. That's why it gets the ring. And who is that among the five who's meant for intelligence? Tell me.
Nakula.
Nakula. It's meant for intelligence. He can predict. He was an astrologer there. He could predict and see what is the future so beautifully. So you should be someone, your own astrologer. You can predict and see what's going to be the design, what's going to be your life. You should be able to have a vision about what is there in front of your life. That's leadership. You need to have this fourth. And the last one, the little one, who was that?
Sahadev.
Huh? What's
Sahadev.
his name? Sagadev. See, if you see all these three fingers, they rest on this. This could be the smallest. Insignificant if you look at, but they all rest on this. And that's called your administration. How you take care of your entire resources is your administration. There he was in charge of all the army, the hordes and everything. He was administrating them. He was managing them. That's the operation, how he manages them. So these are the five elements you need to have in your life, which is your USP, your power, then your principles with which you live by, the actions you take in your life, the intelligence with which you foresee, how you balance everything and administer. If you have all the five, your life is truly balanced and it becomes power. That's why Draupadi is in the middle. This is Draupadi and all the five are around. Are you getting it?
Lovely. And I think this is something.
And look at another scene in this story. How can this become a religious story, a religious book for us? I really, I'm amazed every time when I see this. How can in a religious book, he puts a girl with 5 husbands, which is very, very difficult to accept. But still, he had the guts to put this. And in a religious book, what he has is a rape scene. Rape scene means no movie has ever created a rape scene like this, because the whole family is raping a girl in front of all her husbands, 5 husbands. Everybody, even the blind man, is sitting there in that hall without walking out or telling them to stop it. And they're coming in stripping her in front of everybody. How can this happen in a book like this? And we call this a religious book. You know, why did this happen? What is the significance of this? When all these are your power, which you need to have in your life to be very strong, sometimes there's always a fate. It can take you. It can play in your life and make sure that you lose everything that you consider as your resources, your management, everything you can lose. And you are loosed and you are almost brought to nothing in your life. Whatever you thought as yours, you find that it's no more and it has gone away. It has dropped you. It has let you down and you are just with nothing in your life. At that time, you have a chance to fight. Draupadi also fights. She fights. She argues. How can you do this to me? It is not right. She asks for all justice and everything, but nobody is able to listen to her fights. At one time, when nothing that you can do in your life, and finally she surrenders. And at that moment, when he surrenders, Krishna says, I will come to you. Till that moment, he doesn't come. So he actually comes to you in your life When at that moment, when you lose everything, when you consider the lowest of lowest, you go and you realize that you cannot fight anymore. And when you surrender, that's when Krishna comes. And then he saves Draupadi. And then when he is with you, you don't have to worry. Everything that you lost will again come back to you. And then she comes up, and then the huge war breaks out. And then finally, what has to win finally wins. The truth wins. This is what is our life is all about, my dear friends. So you take charge of your life fully. Go ahead, do the best that you can. But sometimes in your life, fate will come enter, and you will have no control of your life. At that moment, everything you think is yours will go away from you. You will be literally brought to a stage where you know you cannot do anything more. At that time, surrender. And when you surrender, that's when God comes to you. And then your life becomes so much beautiful after that. Then you come and you find the rest of the life can be even several times more powerful than the life that you lived. So if you are asking what is the lowest point of the time, in my life or in anyone's life, that's going to be the best moment of your life where you will meet God in your life. Thank you. I hope it answers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajan, for beautifully
Sure.
explaining. It was so insightful for all. I think each one of us. This linked with this palm and how beautifully you have described, the role of each and every finger which we have, power and see everything was what was that? I think Chetan has already written here. It's a combination of power, action,
Power, principle, action, and
Intelligence,
administration. Yeah,
intelligence, and
intelligence and
administration. Right.
administration.
Wow, lovely.
Okay, I think Neha, it's time now. We should continue
Yeah.
the rest of the questions the next week.
Yes, of
What do
course,
you
we
think?
are going to and